Okay, so we're going to start with bonus balance. 8.5 bonus balance comes out June 1st, which is on Saturday. Interesting. They usually come out Tuesdays, but yeah, Saturday. So let's get into it. First thing they did was decrease attack speed on enhanced purple buff from... They pretty much reduced it by 5%, which, I mean, it's weird. Enhanced purple was really good, but taking 5% from it will definitely hurt, you know, hunters, ADCs, everyone who's in dual lane. Kind of sucks, but is what it is. The big nerf is the Gilded arrow nerf. I'm not going to read all this, but just know that they decreased the gold gain per successful marked target kill from 10 to 7. And it's interesting because I actually talked about this on stream. I suggested this change. I don't think they really pay attention to me or what I say, but it's just interesting because this is exactly what I was thinking. Just decrease the gold from 10 to 7. Personally, I don't think... This might be a false prediction, but I don't think this item's going to get picked up at all anymore. And that's just because, like, it wasn't even getting picked up really before when, you know, like when Death's Toll was meta and at the start of the season. Just because it's so weak early game due to the, you know, like the basic attack damage, and it doesn't have power. And I just don't think 7 gold per target kill is going to be worth it. Especially because, like, well, I don't know, the late game build's still going to be good, but it's going to take longer to get there. So, we'll see. And Ornate, they didn't hit too hard. They only decreased the gold percentage gain from 20 to 5. And what happens is you normally get Deathbringer and then Ornate and then a 3k pot. So all this is really going to do is make it much harder for you to sell your booze and get a 3k pot, which I think is fine. I think Ornate's still going to be good. And they didn't really hit any other crit items, so crit might still be meta, but you're going to get there much later. You're not going to get 3k pots. It's going to be much more balanced. I'm curious to see... Well, we'll keep going for now, but I'm really, really surprised they nerfed Diamond Arrow because this item wasn't getting picked up at all, but they pretty much said that, like, they think with the Ornate nerf, Diamond Arrow is going to get picked up way more because of the gold. I don't think I agree with that, but they nerfed the gold per minion kill from 10 to 7, and they nerfed the bonus gold per god kill from 30 to 21. I don't think this item wasn't bought at all, and they nerfed it. Kind of weird in my opinion. Xe, they took 5% attack speed away, which definitely hurts. I mean, this combined with the purple buff, it's going to be much, much harder to hit attack speed cap. Even with just 3 items in, you're going to have 10% less attack speed. With the purple buff and this, it's going to be a little rough. You're not going to auto attack as fast. So hunters will definitely be more balanced. These two, I don't know. I don't like these changes, but they gave Atlantis Bow 35 power instead of 25, which is cool and all, but I mean, comparing Xe and Atlantis, it's just the fact that Atlantis is only 10% pen, so Xe probably still going to be way better than Atlantis in my opinion. And then they buffed Aussie, which is interesting. Gave it 5 more power. Right now, Aussie is not bought at all because it's not worth the gold. But I don't know if it's in bonus balance or I think it's in next patch where they buffed trans. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But they are buffing trans and they're buffing Aussie. Those items go together very, very well. So I'll be interested to see if a trans Aussie build is better. I think it might be. Not much to talk about Bluestone. They decreased HP 5 and they decreased the bonus damage. Personally, I thought that Bluestone trans was like very strong on hunters right now, like especially like Chiron Uller. That's what I would build all the time. And them nerfing that makes me think that it's not going to be that good anymore. So let's keep going here. They nerfed time and bonus balance actually. They decreased his crits from 70 to 65, but the thing with Heim is his autos already do 1.25, so I don't think a 5% crit nerf is going to be that bad for him. And then they increased the base cooldown of Bifrost. I mean, kind of stinks, but I feel like you're never, like, never really affected by this. You normally Bifrost out. Actually, well, when you short range Bifrost, I guess it'll be a little bit longer of a cooldown now. So, some little Heim nerfs. I do think Heim was very, very strong. So we'll see. They also nerfed on her. I discussed this as well on my stream, which I think is kind of interesting. I doubt they're listening to me, but yeah, they 75-second ult to 90-second ult. I think this is what on her needed to be balanced. He was pretty broken. Did they say something about ranked here? While not always resulting in a ban, his pick at level of ranked and SPL showdown has been quite strong. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is just good. I think this will make him way more balanced. He's my favorite character. So, yeah. That's good. So moving on to the we're moving on to the 8.6 update notes now. I think this is going to be out June 15th, so you know, a few weeks from now. 3 more Tuesdays. But yeah, let's go down this. So here's what I was talking about a little bit ago. They decreased the cost of Transcendence by 150, which I think is a very, very big deal. It's only 150 gold more than Devos now, and I think because right now it's like you have to go a starter item, trans 1, and then you normally back for boots, whereas opposed to the Devos build, you back for devs. So even though Transcendence has less stacks, you're effectively getting them later in the game because you're kind of forced to go boots on your first back because of how expensive it was. But now I think you might be able to farm full trans. I think it's 1850, I'm pretty sure, to farm up early game. And that is a lot still, but it's not impossible. I think trans, with the Aussie buff, I think this will be a very strong contender of the build. I'm obviously going to have to try them all, but at 8.6, I think I'm definitely going to try trans Aussie with, I'm not sure what starter, honestly. Maybe Dustol, maybe Cal, maybe still Gilded, we'll see. Dustol, they kind of buffed magical ADCs right now, so Dustol, they gave 5 extra magic power. I guess they kind of want magical ADCs to come back into the meta a little bit. I'm not sure this does much, though, to be honest, because the magical hunters I'm playing right now, I'm not going Dustol. On Soul, I'm going Gilded, and on Chronos, I'm going Conduit Gem. But I think this is the same power as Conduit Gem now, so maybe Dustol becomes the meta starter item for magical ADCs. I'm not sure about Freya, though, because Dustol doesn't really work that well on Freya. We'll see, though. And when I say it doesn't work that well on Freya, it's because when you 2, you only get 1 Dustol proc. Which is kind of weird, but it's how it works. So they gave the T1 of Emerald Ring. Here, let me check real quick. They gave the T1 Emerald Ring. Oh, wait. Is this T2? Yeah, so they gave 5% attack speed to Emerald Ring and Enchanted Ring, which is, you know, the magical ADC attack speed tree. That's gonna be really strong starter item, so it's definitely gonna be worth a test for magical hunters, you know. Dustol, Ring, it's Enchanted Ring, more attack speed. And this is pretty big too. Decreased cost by 100, increased power by 90. Very interesting Hecate buff as well with a T1, T2, and starter item. The thing is, magical hunters and normal hunters, I feel like they're always just one's meta, one's not. It's very hard to balance them. And with all the nerfs to hunters and with this, you know, buff to magical hunters, maybe we'll get a magical hunter ADC, magical hunter meta. So that's something to look forward to in my opinion. It's gonna be fun trying them out. I do like magical ADCs. I think it's pretty strong rushing Hecate after Dust Toll because, especially with the attack speed, you know, you have sustain, you have early attack speed. Very, very strong. When you get Hecate, you can box hunters, so honestly, I'm definitely going to give these guys a try. They might be OP. We'll see. Weird Vamp Shroud nerf doesn't really affect hunters that much, but apparently this was already in the game. They just didn't talk about it. Just increase power, decrease cost. And then just finished out a few small hunter buffs. We got Artemis 3, 10 damage. I doubt Artemis is going to be meta, but who knows? I doubt it. Just 10, they just gave her 10 extra damage on her 3. Her 3 hits hard. It's good poke ability, but it's not really Artemis' problem. They gave my boy Ho Yi 10 extra damage on his Ricochet too, which I really, really like because Ho Yi is very fun to play in my opinion. And he's not that good, but his Ricochet doing more damage will be very strong. Your buff clear will be better. Your wave clear will be better. This is actually a really short cooldown ability too. That and Artemis are both 10 seconds, so they'll have a lot more poke. So maybe they'll climb up a little bit in the meta, you know? And Izanami, they gave her... Wow, look at the cooldown difference. It starts at 20, now it starts at 17. That's big, because you don't level this ability like first or second, right? So pretty much the first like 15 minutes of the game is going to be 20, but now it's going to be 17. Then when you finally get it leveled, it's going to be 1 second more. So this is really, really good for Izanami. She might become meta, honestly. I think she's pretty good. I don't really like her, but this is kind of what she needed, in my opinion. It might be an Iza meta. You never know. And last but not least, they gave my boy Rama some love. Another one of my favorite hunters, who hasn't been very good, in my opinion, this season. He was good last season, but this season, not so much. They increased the 3 damage by 10% scaling, which is nice. More damage on the 3. And they gave his ult more damage as well. Looks like it starts at about the same. Then it goes up by 10, or 5, then 10, then 15, then 20. So much more impactful late game. 20 extra base per shot is a lot, especially because it scales with every other shot, every next shot you hit, you know. So Rama might be meta too. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to try new Rama. I'm excited to try new Ho Yi. Excited to try Artemis. Excited to try magical ADCs. And just to recap, or just to close this thing off, I do think that hunters needed these nerfs, and I am very excited for a change in the meta because the meta right now is pretty sleeper, even though hunters are OP. This will be way better. I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.